Welcome to the Ring with the Parlay with your hosts, Kendall Gill and TLO, where they duke it out over the current events of the sweet science. Moderated by Mindy Bryant, with correspondent Alex Correa of the Squared Circle Report. Sponsored by 6040.
What's up, boxing fans? Welcome to the Parlay alongside 15-year NBA veteran Kendall Gill and professional record 4-0 as a professional boxer.
Yes, I appreciate you saying that since we have a boxing podcast, a boxing show. And, you know, I want to impress Kenneth Sims Jr., who's, you know, who's one of the best boxers ever from the Chicagoland area. So, yeah, man, you just made me look good in front of Kenneth. I appreciate it.
I had to do it. I've been watching him on Instagram, and I see you still doing 60-40
Yes.
below degree weather.
Well, I try. I mean, you know, at 55 years old, actually I'll be 56 in May coming up. I still want to keep my reflexes. And I'm actually afraid to lose my athleticism. You know, I want to stay like Kenneth Sims Jr., world-class athlete, world champion, and all that. That's why I do what I do.
I hear you.
Now I need to get you to do it.
Yeah. I'm sitting in between these two fellas here, and I'm embarrassed heavily at my physical attributes here. So the parlay is sponsored by 6040 Club. If you want to know Kendall Gill's regimen, you got to follow Kendall on Instagram and on Facebook. The guy is out there doing crazy stuff in below degree weather, as we mentioned earlier. We do have a special guest in studio today. It's our first episode of our new season, our first guest of our new season. This is Kenny Bossman Sims Jr. from Chi-Town. We gotta give it up for our Chi-Town boxers, and he is right now the WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion of the world. And Kenny, it is a pleasure and honor to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
It's cool. When I got the news you were coming in, I'm like, okay, all right, I gotta up my game here, know some things, and we'll get to know you as well. So
yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
It's definitely a pleasure to have you here, Kenny. First thing I want to ask you as we get into it right away. You're from Chicago, and the biggest thing the parlay does at the moment is try to spotlight people who are from here that are in the sport that we love so much.
Yeah.
I want to ask you just off the bat, how do you feel like Chicago boxing is looked at outside of the city?
It's not really just me knowing me because I travel so much and I'm around it so much. It's not. Don't nobody really think about it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly
That's just me being honest. Don't nobody think about Chicago when they think about boxing.
Why is that? Do you think it's because we don't have as many fighters coming out of Chicago that are on your level?
Yeah, really, because it's been a long. I looked it up a couple weeks ago because I plan on changing it. But the last time we had a world champion, like a full-fledged world champion, was probably David Diaz.
David Diaz when he lost to Pacquiao
so like
a couple years ago.
Just in the boxing world, if people not seeing somebody from that area, they not going. Like even in the amateurs, it was a couple people. It was me, Sean Simpson, Alex Martin, Samaje sometimes. Yeah. But that was pretty much it. Like Chicago not known as like when you go to different places.
Yeah, from Chicago, you barely hear it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When I'm in Vegas and training, and people see me box, and they ask me where I'm from, and I say Chicago, they be like, "Really?"
Oh wow! So we don't get no respect. We like Rodney Dangerfield.
But I've been telling you this, KG. I know the perspective of Chicago. It's just not respected out here. But we got so many boxers out
nobody really thinks. Like even in interviews, they ask me, I be like, I know Chicago is more of a basketball city. Like I know.
Yeah. It's a basketball city, but we do have fighters. I mean, Montel Griffin from here, Frezzo Kendall, yourself, David Diaz, as you mentioned.
Everybody you just named. How long ago?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Adrian?
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
Yeah, so like
a couple years ago.
At this point, don't nobody.
So really, you're carrying the mantle now for Chicago. And one day when you finally get the title shot and get on top of the 140-pound division, now you can put Chicago back on the map.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's what I want to do. I want to bring boxing back here because we don't get no fights here.
Right, yeah.
And I think just depending on who it is, I think you could bring a crowd out, like if you had a boxing event here.
Yeah.
But I talked to my uncle, which is my manager. We talk about this stuff, like say a person like say Gervonta Davis or Broner.
Yeah.
I don't think they promote it as boxers.
Yeah.
Like they crowd It's
Right.
not a boxing crowd. Like if you go to a fight, Tank is more promoted more as his fans. He probably got the same fans as like say Lil Durk or Lil Baby. He's
Right.
promoted as like a rapper.
So it's like a hip hop crowd more
Yeah.
so than a boxing crowd.
and you know Chicago loves that type of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I know, like he's promoted as like a rapper, pretty much. You look
Right.
at him as like in the same vein as those type of people.
Yeah. Whereas before they were just promoted as fighters. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember the last big fight that was here. Well, they've had a couple big fights here. You know, but the last one that was at the United Center was Andrew Galata, Oliver McCall.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah,
that was like 10,
I
15 years
remember
ago.
that. I don't like remember it because I was a kid, but
Yeah, 'cause
I
you were a kid
remember.
back
I
then.
remember that fight card.
Right. And actually, Big Baby Miller came here a couple years ago to fight, and Alexander Usyk was
Oh
here
yeah, at the Wind
Usyk
Trust.
was here.
at the Wintrust.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, I think when you have good fighters that come here, then the crowd will come out. It's just that there's not as many as there used to be. You know, not as many names. And I feel like if once Kenny gets to the level which he gets, he could have a hometown crowd here, and a hometown following, much like you look at Terrence Crawford, how he used to sell out Nebraska, Omaha. Okay, when I can
Yeah,
remember.
he's their sports team.
Yeah, he's their
Yeah,
sports
yeah.
team. Yeah, he's their sports
He's
team.
Besides
basically
their college football team.
Yeah,
Besides the college football
he's
team.
their professional sports team. Like,
Yeah.
he just-
But yet and still, he developed a following
Mhm.
there. And I remember when he fought Benavidez there, how he packed the house and everything. So I'm not trying to put no pressure on you, Kenny, but
Nah,
you
there's
know,
no
I
pressure.
think you could do the same thing.
Yeah, there's
you
no
know?
pressure.
Yeah, I think you could do the same thing, man.
And there's a big boxing contingency in Chicago, and it's the reason why we do stuff like this because no one's. I mean, the podcasts are all over the place, but like to be able to give the spotlight to the Chicago people that deserve it, that's what we're here for, and you definitely are the epitome of that. And so, like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you here doing that. You know, you didn't like boxing originally.
Yeah, I mean that's hard to believe, bro.
Yeah, I hate
I
it.
know.
That's
I
hard
mean,
to
I've
believe,
seen you
man.
fight. I'm like, how?
I won't say I
You've been
hated
playing
it.
fighting since you were 1.
I won't say I hated it. I didn't want to do it. I like basketball.
Yeah,
I liked basketball.
he's a pretty good
like,
basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen him hoop before. He's a pretty good basketball.
I like basketball. So
Yeah.
like when my dad, he was still working like now that's his job as a trainer for the city. But back then he's working at UPS. So he tell my mom to take me to the gym, and I used to try to get her like, yo, can I just go to the court outside at the park or go to the park, and I don't want to go to the boxing gym. She's like, nah. I'm not about to, I'm not about to get into it with your dad because
Right,
he
yeah.
find out I didn't take you to practice. Then he'd be mad and we'd be arguing. But she was like, nah, you going to boxing. I just didn't want to do it.
So what made you start liking it?
I was good at it. I'm
Yeah.
competitive, so
Right.
like I'm competitive at everything.
I can tell.
My
I can
girl,
tell when you
she asked me, she was like, why everything gotta be a competition? To me, like life is a competition. Like
It is.
it could be a friendly competition, but it's still a
Right.
competition, and I want to win.
What was your Olympic experience like? You went obviously 2012.
Yeah, I went to the trials in 2012. I lost to Jose Ramirez by 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't lose, but I lost.
So I mean, now because I've been to a lot of amateur boxing matches, and you say you didn't lose. I've seen a lot of fighters in your position where they say that this guy scored or he got outpointed. What did you feel was the difference in that fight?
They changed the scoring since then. Back then, it was like computer scoring.
Right.
It's like judges there, and they just tapping for each, I guess, clean punch landed. So in that fight, I was up 6 points going into the last round. And then the last round was just like the first 2 rounds. But somehow I ended up losing by 1.
Was Ramirez the golden boy at that
Yeah,
time?
he was the favorite. Yeah, he was the national champion on the USA team the last 2 years before that.
Wow, that's something else. I mean, I know that had to be disappointing knowing.
Oh yeah, I was
deep down inside knowing that you really won.
because that was when I was like falling in love with boxing. That's what that was when I like started. Like I really cared by then.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
now after your loss, you didn't turn professional. You decided to wait one more year and go back into the amateurs, and you won another national championship. Why didn't you decide to go pro at that time?
I had the opportunity to. It was people calling me, like Jay Prince was talking to me then. There was a lot of people talking to me then, but I really don't know. I just didn't feel like I needed to at that point because I was still 17, 18 years old.
Oh, okay. You still young.
Yeah, I was 18 years.
Did you?
I did. The trials was the year before my senior year of high school.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So you still young. You
yeah.
Still a
So I
puppy.
was still a kid. I wasn't really thinking about turning pro.
Right. Yeah.
Then.
Did your dad give you that advice? Did he say no? Just.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and my uncle Ed is like the people that kind of guide me. Like my uncle Ed really is. He's my manager now.
Right.
Like Jay Prince was my manager when I first turned pro.
Okay.
But then that contract expired, and then I was just like my uncle, he owns a tech company.
Right.
So he may not know boxing, but he's learning now. He knows more now, but he may not know boxing, but he knows business. I know he knows business.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I needed, somebody to do that. Because even when Jay was my manager, my uncle was still the one kind of taking care of everything for me. So I just figured, like, we might as well make this official.
No,
so for the last, like, four years, he the one that's been guiding me.
No, you know, it's interesting you should say that because after we went to the Final Four my junior year, I told my dad, I was like, I'm going pro. My dad said, no, you're not.
Yeah.
He said, no, you're not. He's like, because right now you'll be middle to late first round pick. And if you leave school, he said, you wait another year, you're going to be a lottery pick. And like you, I took my dad's advice, and I waited, and I turned out to be the 5th pick in the draft, a lottery pick.
Yeah.
So and I had another year to mature. I had another year to get stronger. I had another year to get better as a basketball player.
Like even like that year, extra year I stayed, I won like 2 more national titles.
Yeah.
And then that was the year I got to travel the world, and that helped me realize how good I actually was. Because of course I was going to national stuff. It's always the same people.
Yeah.
So I get to the point where I'm just like, I know all these people. But when I get across the world and like people from different countries telling me that I'm good, and they had never seen me, and they just like, who are you? Where you from? You good? Like I'm fighting people from Cuba, fighting people from Russia, like all over the world, and they still, I'm still doing my thing with them. That's when I realized like,
you
can
do this professionally.
Yeah.
That's good.
Pause. Keep rolling. Larry, I was going to tell you, if you want to pan between me and KG, you can do so. Okay? This will give you some little fluidity on that.
Was that the pizza man?
No, it was not. It was hot dogs.
Oh, okay. So shoes got it. Okay. All right,
We
well,
good?
thank you. I appreciate it.
Still rolling?
All right.
All right, here we go. Back to show in 3, 2. So, Kenny, you start, you become a pro. You win your first 12 fights. And then, first, before we get to that next stage of your career, how was it like becoming a pro? Was it a completely different atmosphere for you, or was the game different now that you're, not wearing headgear and things of that nature?
See, the headgear thing is not really a big deal because my last year amateurs, after I stayed in 2012, that next year they took the headgear off.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was fighting without headgear in my last couple tournaments.
Okay.
So the headgear thing wasn't really a big deal. But as far as like, I don't know, it was just, to me, professional boxing feels like a different sport.
Oh, does it really?
What's the what's the difference?
Like the gloves are like, they don't feel like nothing, honestly. It's just like the 8-ounce gloves, they don't feel like, especially me because I'm a lower weight.
Yeah.
So I'm still like 8 ounces. When you get over 47, you go to 10 ounces.
10
Like
ounces,
me,
yeah.
like the 8-ounce gloves, they feel like
Bare
like
knuckle,
it's just
almost.
Like, it's just like I can feel when I land a punch, I can feel it like in my hand.
Okay, you can feel it.
That's why a rap's so important. You gotta make sure the rap's good.
Right,
You have that experience. You look great off the bat, and then you encounter your first loss in your 13th fight. What was that like for you, experiencing your first loss as a professional?
I just hate losing overall. So
yeah.
like I hate losing.
See, and that's the trait. Let me tell you. So before the draft, okay, when I got drafted in 1990, they run a battery of tests on you. So, you know, they used to have the pre-draft camp. Well, they still do up at Moody Bible Institute
Okay.
up on the north side
I
of
didn't know,
Chicago. So the whole NBA comes here and they run the battery test and all that stuff. Now they have it over at I guess Quest Athletics on the west side. But in these tests, they ask you, do you love winning or do you hate losing?
That's what I was just about to say. I was just saying I probably hate losing more than I love winning.
Exactly. So if the correct question for a champion or for a high level athlete is hate losing. If somebody say they love to win, you know, it's different.
Yeah.
You know, you probably gonna go with the guy that says they hate losing. So
Yeah.
it's interesting Kenny said that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I hate losing so much. Like
Right.
anything. Like if I'm playing the game
Mhm.
with my friends and I lose, we gotta keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my friend, well, like not now because I got kids and stuff, but before I kid, my friend, me and me and Shakur too. Shakur
Yeah.
Stevenson, we'll be up. Like we was in different, we'll play online and we'll be up to like 4:35 in the morning because he hate losing too. So
So
it's
if
just
we
like,
y'all gotta keep
yeah,
going,
we just
right?
gonna play the game until somebody just gotta go to sleep.
Shakur
Yeah.
gaming like that?
He ain't not no more.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
he play Call of Duty now. I think he don't play
yeah.
2K no more. We used to play 2K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
That's something else.
You
man.
beat him?
yeah, me and him, I mean, he'll tell anybody like anybody like boxing. Can't nobody beat me in 2K.
Oh really?
Yeah, he'll say that though.
You use me?
I played with you before.
Okay,
I took a
okay.
picture. I took a picture and sent it to you when I played with
That's
the
right,
classic
you did.
team.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right. You did. That's right. You did, man.
The show was that Charlotte all
yeah,
all team?
the Charlotte team.
All-time team? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've done that too, but I keep losing with you. I don't know what happens.
Hey, bro. Hey, it ain't me.
I'm just playing.
It ain't me. It's your slow twitch muscle fibers in your fingers. That's what it is. You better get your don't be putting those losses on my
Okay.
record, man.
Yeah, I hate losing, but losing that fight is. I get if I had surgery
On your elbow, yeah, I
right
remember.
after that.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the first fight where I felt we didn't get to it yet, but the sickle cell trait.
Yeah, we can talk about it right now.
Like I knew I had it because when I was on the USA team that 1 year I stayed,
Mm-hmm.
I basically got kicked off the team for a little bit. Like I went to Puerto Rico. They did blood work beforehand, and then we went to Puerto Rico. But then when I got there, they told me, like, you're not fighting. We ain't letting you fight.
Wow.
And then they was like, because you got sickle cell trait. And I was just like, so what y'all bring me to Puerto Rico for if I can't fight? So they had me there for like a week and a half, and they wouldn't let me work out.
Wow.
Yeah, USA Boxing, they wouldn't let me work out. They wouldn't let me do nothing. I was like, well, can I go home?
Yeah.
Then I had
So,
to-
but you went to Puerto Rico. You had you were
it was a tournament.
a tournament, right?
it
It
was-
was a tournament like up until that point. Like you had a week to get ready for it.
Yeah, it was there for like a week, maybe two before the tournament started.
Okay.
But they
So what,
would,
were you feeling bad and then they tested
no,
you?
I felt fine. They just did blood work for the whole team.
Okay.
The whole USA team, they did blood work they did blood work, checked our heart rates.
Right.
It was funny is when they checked all our heart rates, I guess they not used to athletes, but like they checked our heart rates and all our heart rates were slow. I'm like, yeah, we in shape. Of course it's gonna
Right.
be slow.
Yeah,
Like,
slow, yeah.
so they was acting like everybody had a problem with that, but
Mhm.
it wasn't no problem with that. That was just funny to all of us because we was just like,
So, in the fights that you lost, okay, I watched both of them. I watched you spar hundreds of rounds. In those fights, I noticed that you didn't have the same zip or pop that you
Yeah, I
normally
didn't
had
have- I didn't have-
in your sparring. So was part of the sickle cell trait that you got fatigued?
yeah, it was like I experienced it in a gym too. Maybe this was after I knew what it was. So my nutritionist that I work with, Perfect the Athletes, they like kind of guide me and tell me. And I did my own research on it too after I found out that it did have an effect. Cause I just was like, I've been boxing my whole life, so
Yeah.
I got sickle cell trait, I guess. That when USA Boxing sent me home, I was like, okay, but I've been boxing my whole life, so
Right.
I don't really get what's the problem.
Yeah.
So those 3-round fights in the amateur. So of course I was like, whatever, it's not bothering me. But when I turned pro, and the fights getting longer and distance getting longer,
Okay.
it got more time to affect me. So I'm just like, okay, that's when we looked it up and seen that it could have an effect on me, especially like with the dehydration, having to make weight and stuff.
Right.
Then me maybe, because I'm learning on the job. I don't know. I'm still doing everything like I did. I've been doing my whole career as an
Right.
amateur, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not doing it the right way.
Okay.
So I'm not preventing it from having an effect on me
Mm-hmm.
until after those 2 losses when I hired the nutritionist, and then they tell me like, you gotta have this certain type of thing. You gotta eat this certain. You gotta stay this much hydrated to make sure that you battling the sickle cell trait, that it don't affect you when you fight.
Oh wow, that's something. So when you did hire a nutritionist and they changed your diet, could you tell right off the bat, or did it have to come over a long period of time that your endurance got better?
Nah, it was right away, because in camp for when I fought Elvis Rodriguez, in that camp, like maybe 2 or 3 sparring sessions, I felt like trash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told them, and I don't know what they did. They changed something in my diet
Uh-huh.
that I needed, and right away I just felt, the next sparring session I felt great.
That's crazy. Man.
That is.
That's crazy how you can change your diet.
Because they asked me, they like, with them, I call them my boxing moms.
Oh yeah.
Because it's 2 ladies, Paulina and Denise.
Uh-huh.
I call them my moms, and with them, they just want you to make sure you're being honest with them about everything. Like, if you don't feel good,
Right.
they don't care when it is. If you don't feel good the day of the fight, they want you to tell them so they can change something and try to make sure you eat something that you need. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
so I told them in camp, I was like, my last 2 sparring sessions, I ain't been feeling. And then, I don't know, like, they ain't give me no supplements or nothing. They just changed what I ate, and I felt.
That's something, man.
It is. I mean, but in boxing though, I'm sure you know weight is everything, right? A pound is huge.
Yeah.
So with food intake, I'm sure that affects all of it, and it affects energy and affects.
Yeah, they fuss at me all the time. Like, I can drink a bunch of water when I'm working out, but it's hard for me to like drink water if I ain't working out. Like, just drink
All through
water
the day.
all through the day.
Yeah.
Like, they'll text me randomly, like, make sure you drink water.
Okay.
Make sure you drink. Even when I'm not in camp, like,
Right.
make sure you drink water.
Yeah. I got a problem with my son with that. You know what I mean? I tell him, yo, hey, listen, you need to drink this water before you play.
Yeah.
Right? He'll drink it right before he plays. Or try to drink it, and that's like, it's not gonna have an effect. You need to get that in you so you hydrate it.
Yeah, like, since I've been working with them, like, before I be feeling, this is terrible. I advise no boxer to ever do this. But before I start working with them, I would go like a couple days before weigh-ins, and I maybe sip some water, drink a bottle of water, but I'd be completely dehydrated before I start working
To
with
make
them.
weight, you would do that?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I just
man.
didn't.
You're not the only one.
I know I'm not.
Yeah,
I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, that's dangerous though.
I just didn't know what I was doing. Like,
Really?
I was basically starving myself to make weight.
And then, I mean, when you would go in the fight, you would be fine?
No.
Yeah.
You'd be weak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, the losses, especially the second one, I felt it in the locker room before the fight.
So you didn't drink any water
But before the weigh-in, and then that weigh-in, we was sitting in the venue waiting for like 5 hours.
Oh.
So I had made the weight, and then I didn't. I'm thinking they got a time for the weigh-in, so
Right,
we
yeah.
going there. But we sat there, and I didn't get to eat till like 9 o'clock that night.
And then it was almost fight time. By
Yeah,
then.
it's the fight the next day, but
Yeah.
I got to eat one time the day of the weigh-in.
Yeah.
But now they have me, like, I pretty much every fight that I worked with them, I ate breakfast the day of the weigh-in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you were that far on the way.
Yeah, like my last fight there, I went to their room, they made me eggs and stuff before I went down.
And you were still underweight. Wow.
And I
That's
drank
crazy.
a gallon of water pretty much all the way up until weigh-in day.
For real? Man, that's something else. See, it's amazing how they change your diet, man.
It's amazing how they change your diet. It's amazing what these boxers do just to get into your fight. You know,
Yeah.
to be able to make weight. That's official.
Yeah, that's really,
It's crazy.
I don't even, like I don't worry about making, but I can't sleep the night before the weigh-in.
Oh no.
The night before the fight, I sleep like a baby.
Okay.
But the night before the weigh-in, I can't sleep.
Yeah, are you worried about making weight?
Even if I'm on weight, going to sleep, I still can't sleep. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm.
So that's when you up playing with your.
I don't know if I'm scared. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm scared of. I don't know if I'm scared of like a scale being off, but I can't sleep the night before a weigh-in.
Yeah, sometimes you get nervous like that.
Yeah,
you know?
like I'm not nervous the night before the fight, but before the weigh-in,
Yeah.
I just
just little
can't
things.
sleep. Yeah.
So that being said, when you fought Elvis Rodriguez, there was plus 1,200 against you, right? You see all of the odds in Vegas and everything, and I had seen this dude fight. But you know, I know you. I've seen you fight and everything. But I ain't gonna lie, Kenny. I was like, damn, this dude is a monster.
Yeah.
and I know your capabilities.
Yeah.
But I'm like, shit. I don't know about this one. But he went in. He outboxed him and put on the show.
Yeah, and also when you answer that question, talk about K as well, because I know he kind of shifted your career slightly in a positive way when you went to Colorado.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that fight, they had offered that fight to us a couple times, but they were trying to catch me like a 2-week, 3-week notice.
Oh, trying to get you out.
Yeah, and we just was like, nah, we good.
Yeah.
We good. You give us time, yeah. And then the moment they call, and it was like 8 or 9 weeks, we said, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Cause me and Kay, we had watched him, and like I remember the first time I ever watched him. I ain't think I was gonna fight him, nothing. I just remember I was in Houston. I had just got to Houston like the day before that, and he fought in the bubble. He knocked some dude out. I can't think of the guy.
Dark skinned African dude.
No, it was this white dude from like East Coast.
Okay.
But they was in the bubble in Vegas, and I remember watching that fight because my friend Albert Bell, he fought on that same card.
Okay.
So I just remember seeing him, and then maybe because he fought in the bubble a lot. He was like back to back to back.
Yeah, he kept.
And I remember just like watching him, but I ain't really thinking nothing about fighting him because at this time I'm going through I ain't even fighting. I'm just going. I'm just training. I was just training for like 2 years without fighting.
Right.
Just because I ain't had no. That was my fight to get back in the door.
Right.
After the 2 losses. So I'm just watching him, and then Kay like we could beat him.
Yeah.
When they offered it, we was like we could beat him.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like he's okay, but I could beat him.
Right.
Then after I accepted the fight, that's when I started really like honing in and actually watching him.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I watched him, I was just like, oh yeah, I could this.
What did you see?
I just saw one fight that he won that he actually knocked a dude out. This guy Cameron Creel. But the dude didn't give him no problems at all. But I just seen little stuff like a jab throw him off.
Okay.
Like Cameron Creel maybe threw a couple jabs and it made him reset. And he ain't do nothing.
Okay.
They kept his hands at home because he was worried about the jab.
Yeah. So you see that? So you see top level athletes, they can see that stuff.
Like even though he knocked him out easy.
Yeah.
Like second, third round. But I just saw.
Well, you can always see weaknesses in a boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, because we, as boxing fans, looking at the sport, you as the actual boxer, we can even see that there's flaws in guys' approach to the boxer. So I'm sure that you were like eating the
and
mouth like, I know exactly what I
can
do.
And like his punches, like it's different type of punchers. Like it's a sharp puncher, and then it's like a wiry. Initially, before I started like studying him, I thought he was one of those sharp punchers, but he not. His punch is not really sharp.
Okay.
Like he can hit, but it ain't really sharp, so I can pretty much anticipate.
Okay.
Like even if you watch the fight, even when he hit me clean, it ain't bother me because I knew.
Right. Yeah. You knew.
I was just like, if he hit me, I was like, damn, I couldn't get out the way of that in time, but it didn't bother me. Like if you watch it and listen, Kay was yelling in the corner. He was like, he hit me with something, and I was like, all right, my bad.
Right.
Because it wasn't bothering me.
Okay.
And I think this not nothing to brag on. I think I got like a great chin.
You do. You do. I mean, I see you take shots
good.
before in the gym and everything, and nothing bothers you.
So
I'm
I
like,
was
damn, that shot should have bothered.
Because Kay was telling people, one of the guys that worked for Top Rank I don't know, it was people going around saying he was gonna knock me out. K was like, I guarantee you ain't nobody gonna knock Kenny out. He not getting knocked out.
Right. Yeah. And I had seen the guy's power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was worried about too. You know, I didn't think you get knocked out or anything
Yeah.
because I seen you in the gym. I know what type of chin you got. But I'm like, this dude is strong, and Kenny ain't fought in a long time. No, not on that level.
Yeah, I
in a
hadn't
long time.
fought. I hadn't
You know,
fought.
so that's what I was worried about. You know, if you had
I
been
had
active,
fought once maybe in like 2-3 years.
Right. Yeah, and if you were active, then I wouldn't be worried about it. But you know, that's what the thing that was bothering me is that you had only had one fight. But working with your new trainer, and I know you still work with your dad and everything, but working with your new trainer, I heard you mention that your power is getting. I already thought you had good power, but now do you feel like your power is starting to increase now?
I won't say increase. I just think he a perfectionist, so he make me like, he don't like if I do one, like if I step in with a jab and I take an extra step with my back foot, he gonna be like, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like if we on the mitts and say I step to my right and I like fumble my toe a little bit, he gonna be like, do it over.
He perfectionist.
Yeah, so me with him is just he hones in on making me do everything over and 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 over again. Like even if I'm doing it right, I still got to do it over and over and over again until I know I can't do it wrong.
Right. Okay.
Till if I do it wrong, then I immediately know.
So basically, he's perfecting your craft where you're sitting down on your punches, and now
like I already knew how,
power.
but I would like rush it sometimes because speed always been my thing, so I kind of use that more. But he was just like, "You fast already. You don't even got to worry about that. You gonna be fast, cause you fast." Like I tell a lot of young guys that too. Now I feel like I'm the oldest dude on our team now. Like I'm the OG on our.
You used to be the young fella.
Like
You used to be
I'm the
young
oldest
fella,
dude, and I just be telling people like, you don't gotta rush nothing. If you fast, you fast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We're going to talk about the future of your division that you're in right now in a bit. But I was going to ask you, what is it as a boxer? Do you feel like it's a father-son duo?
Yeah.
Whether opposed to a duo that is not family.
Yeah.
Are there advantage? What do you think is? What does that dynamic look like? Are there advantages to it, or is a father like looking at his son and saying, "I'm gonna have to pull him out because that's my son," or the trainer who's not the son, who's not the father, is more of a business decision, right? Where he lets the father. Do you see that dynamic kind of differing between the two? And you as a boxer, how do you see it?
It depends on the coach, because K, he looks at all of his fighters as his kids. Like I told him this before. I think he cares too much.
Oh wow!
Like he really cares. Like even if somebody new come around, he cares like right off the bat just because they with him.
Okay.
Like, so him and my dad is pretty much on the same page.
Same page. Yeah, that's great.
Like K, he literally cares too much. Okay. Like he puts everything above himself. So like he don't go home. He go home and see his kids, and that's it.
Oh yeah, and then he comes right back to the gym.
Yeah, he in Vegas like all the time, and like my dad actually be texting him like, "Yo, you good? You take a break?" Because he don't take breaks. Like,
that's something else, man. That's something else.
That's what it's always an interesting dynamic when you see father and son. You're like, Haney and
yeah, K treats everybody like his kid.
Like his kids.
So him and my dad are like, now that they.
So so sometimes the dynamic of father-son trainers, it sometimes stifles the fighter, and sometimes you have to have a different voice.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you needed a different voice, even though your dad's still training you?
Yeah.
But sometimes you need somebody else to bring.
Yeah, for sure. I think he understands that. I think that's for anything though. If even if it's not your parent, if it's like since you've been a kid,
right?
You just sometimes like you can say the same thing, but it might just be said a different way, or I just like be hearing it 24/7 outside the gym. And sometimes I don't want to talk about boxing. Like me and my dad now,
Yeah.
we don't really talk about boxing unless we in the gym.
Yeah. Hey, Kenny, let me tell you something. I had to learn that as a father.
Yeah.
Okay, because my son, of course, basketball player and everything, he hates when I talk to him about basketball. I can't, like, my wife had to put me on like a time restraint. I can only talk about basketball for 15 minutes a day, okay? And I can only do it when we're on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Because so I saw the same dynamic with you and your dad as I have with my son. And your dad actually taught me a lot. Because I used to be yelling and all that stuff, and then he told your dad said one day there was somebody's training another fighter, and he was yelling at the fighter, and your dad said, "See, Kendall, you can't get to your fight like that. You gotta whisper."
My dad always, well, not always, but he just learned me over the years. Me, I can't take that.
Right.
Like I could take it, but mentally I'm gonna check out if like my corner or somebody that's supposed to be helping me yell at me, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like don't yell at me. Like especially now me being a grown man. Even as a kid, I didn't want to be yelled at.
Didn't want to hear it.
But
Yeah.
as a grown man, like don't yell at me.
Right. See, and I learned that from his father. You know, and now I do that with my son too. You know, every once in a while I'll yell at him.
Yeah, because my dad, I forgot where I was at. It was somewhere, and it was out the country. They like had certain coaches and they wouldn't let him work the corner. And he was just like warning the coaches like, "Yo, don't yell at him because if you yell at him, he's just gonna ignore you.
Yep.
And it's not gonna register you. Because if you yell at me, I'm not gonna listen. Like you can get intense, but just don't raise your octave and start yelling at me like I'm a child.
Like you're a little kid.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the super lightweight division, semi-stacked. There's some names out there. We're not gonna try to make you say who you were calling out or anything like that. But
Everybody, I don't really care.
Everybody, right? That's the famous question: who you want next, right? But really, like, what does your division look like for you? Like, you know, as a whole, you know, it's a lot of talent. Obviously, we know the names. How do you think you maneuver around it? And do you see yourself staying around here, maybe moving up? I mean,
I'm good at 140,
right?
Unless it's like a super duper good opportunity come up at 147, but I'm cool at 140. Right now in the weight is I don't know, it's boxing, it's complicated. Everything complicated with boxing just because
it is.
It's no stability. It's no like an NBA. They got a body that controls everything.
Do you think they need a czar, so to speak, so that the czar, whatever he says goes? Well, you got to fight this fighter. We're gonna get like the Super Six.
Yeah.
Until it be elimination.
I wish, because I think I won't say it's too much freedom, but the fighters don't really control. I wish fighters had more control. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there to that point where the fighters like Ryan and Tank, they made that fight happen themselves. Well, Ryan made that fight happen himself, really.
Right. Yeah.
But
doesn't the Super Six like format kind of undercut on financially some of the fighters to where you can have individual fights that can make you the more money with something like that?
Well, I don't know all the ins and outs of that. All I know is that it made everybody fight each other in that division.
Yeah, that's all I really want. Because I'm guessing, what's today, the 19th? I think new rankings for the WBA come out probably like the next 2 weeks. Yeah. I should be number one contender.
Right.
Barroso, he fought for the interim title, and they got Rolly as champion in recess. So I think I'll be number one. And Ryan Garcia be number 2.
Now, that being said, you called Barroso out.
Yeah.
Right? I saw you shake his hand after the fight.
If Davies would have won, I would have called him out.
You were just there wanting to fight the winner.
Yeah, like Rolly was there too. I asked him.
So what is it? I mean, when you guys talk to each other and you say, "Look, I'm gonna probably be the number one contender. I want to fight."
Yeah.
Do they know and say, "Well, you got to talk to my promoter"?
Not with the people that I've been like. Rolly, he just I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Rolly.
Do you think they really want to fight you though, Kenny?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they want to fight you.
They don't want to fight you, Kenny.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
That's why I just was like, I need to get to the spot I'm in now, the number one, where they don't really get a choice.
Right.
But especially with this WBA situation, it's all jumbled up because, of course, I know how stuff goes.
Yeah.
If Ryan wants to fight Rolly, they not gonna let that pass out. That's too much money to miss out on.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Right.
Ryan's a star.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional
Uh-huh.
about my situation.
Right.
I'm not a star yet. I plan on being a star,
Mhm.
but I'm not delusional about my situation. I know Ryan Garcia brings too much money to the table for y'all to
Pass that up. Yeah.
I'm in line. I'm
Mhm.
supposed to be next
Right.
if you go by the line.
Mhm.
But I'm not oblivious to what's really the situation. Ryan Garcia
Mhm.
can make you millions of dollars,
Right.
and y'all not gonna tell him no.
Right. No.
So if that's the case, and Ryan and Rolly fight, then Barroso is the interim title,
Mhm.
and I'll gladly go for that. And
Right.
then say I'm supposed to get the winner of Ryan and Rolly.
Mhm.
They not gonna fight me. I know that. I gotta do more. Even though I don't feel like Ryan's done much to get that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he built himself outside of boxing.
Yeah. He's got what, 2 or 3, 4 million
Yeah.
Instagram followers. Or
Yeah,
something
so
like
he
that?
so he
Yeah.
built himself outside of boxing. I don't like when people say he's not a real boxer because he's been boxing since he was a little kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he built himself outside of boxing, and now he got the platform to control stuff and do what he wants.
Yeah.
Everybody's path is different.
Yeah.
Everybody has to go through it by way. But you willing to find anybody. That's
Yeah, for sure.
on the record.
I don't care
It don't matter.
who it is. I was just on the phone with my manager today. I was like, if this, literally on the way here, actually, I was like, if this WBA thing don't pan out or if it's like taking too long, I'm not trying to sit and wait.
Yeah. You got to
We can go.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as it is somebody that's regarded, ranked higher than me,
Uh-huh.
we can fight.
We can
I
fight
don't
anybody.
care. Even if they not in the WBA rankings and I just
Mhm.
get the opportunity to fight somebody that's ranked higher than me in any kind of organization, then if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. But I don't want to sit up and just wait and let Ryan Garcia or Rolly Romero control what I got going on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You got your own career to worry
Yeah.
about. Yeah. That's good.
You know, real quick, I gotta ask you because me and this man we disagree on a lot of things, particularly in boxing. There's some things we disagree with, so we like to throw it out to our guests here. You know, this man thinks that Wilder won the first fight against Fury, and then thought he had a chance in the second two fights. Of course, that was proven wrong. But I want to ask you, what do you feel the Tyson Fury Wilder fight number one? Did Wilder pull that off, or you think Fury pulled that off, or do you believe in the draw?
No, I think because it went to the cards, Fury should have won. But I think he should have got counted out.
Oh,
Yeah.
counted out when he was
It was a
down.
long-
Yeah.
it was a
So he
long
did
count.
beat the count.
Yeah, but I think since they let him beat the count, then he won.
Gotcha. So,
So-
he did out. He won on points.
Yeah, I
in
think he
your
should have won on
estimation.
points. It was a draw, right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Fury should have won since it went to the cards. But I think Wilder technically knocked him out.
Yeah.
I see.
See, and if they had if the count had been counted right, okay, there would be no more Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder goes on to fight Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I just think.
You know, but I mean the cards didn't play out that way. But,
But-
hey, look, let me tell you, they had 3 hella fights.
He did.
And it did a lot for the heavyweight division. It did a lot for boxing. You know, hopefully my man Deontay Wilder comes back. I know he just, had suffered a defeat to Joseph Parker. But like we were saying, hopefully he goes back and fights like the old Deontay.
Yeah, I don't think that
You know.
boxing. Of course, he went to the Olympics. He got a bronze medal, but
Yeah.
he's not. Yeah, I see
He's
his.
not a boxer.
Yeah, his coach is trying to make him like a technical
Yeah.
boxer, and
It's too late to learn it.
yeah, it's too like. It's,
Well, he doesn't do. He doesn't.
he don't do
any of that
nothing.
in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, even on it doesn't look good on the
Yeah.
mitts.
Yeah.
It don't look good on the mitts either. So I just,
Yeah.
He was blessed with that right hand.
yeah, he gotta go and use what got him there. And
Yeah. Yeah. He's blessed with power, man. Now, Kenny, I know Terrence is your man. I know you train with him.
Yeah.
I know you behind her, but I was rolling with Errol in that fight. I was rolling with Errol in that
Earl,
fight, man.
I'm cool with Earl too. Like,
Yeah, I know
was
you
at
cool,
his
but-
gym, not before one of my fights.
Oh, yeah?
I went to his gym and sparred with Frank Martin. And
Oh, with Frank? Okay.
Yeah, me and Earl, we sat there and talked for like an hour.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well, I don't know whether there was something wrong with Earl's during the fight, but I just did not see him getting beat like that.
Oh, I didn't either.
I thought it was a possibility that he might lose, but I was still rolling with him because I thought, okay, Errol Spence, southpaw, Terrence is not going to have the advantage that he normally has when he switches southpaw because he's fighting the southpaw. I thought Errol throws 100 punches around. I thought Errol got a chin. I thought Errol got the endurance. But the skill set that Terrence showed in that fight, it was just, just on a different level, What do you think happened in the fight?
I don't know. I will admit Errol didn't look like himself, but he got in there, so I'm gonna just leave that on the back.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
I just think Bud is able to do too much in the ring, like as far as if that game plan that he had wasn't working, I'm sure he had something else that he was gonna turn to.
Yeah.
And I just think with Errol, if you watch all his fights, it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing. He just picked the pace up throughout the fight and overwhelmed everybody.
True.
Like Ugas, he overwhelmed him.
Yeah, I agree.
He can box. I think I've seen him box before. Like I guess the Lamont Peterson fight, he showed flashes of his athleticism and he's able to create angles and move and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe it's after the accident, but all his fights has pretty much been he just overwhelmed.
Yeah, but he was before he was fresher.
Yeah,
he didn't have.
He was sharper before the accident. He was his athleticism. You could see, he was. I won't say he was ever fast, but he was more like now a lot of his punches look like pushy.
Yeah, because I noticed in that fight too his feet,
balance. His
feet wasn't underneath him. He was trying to find the ring apron and all.
And this is one punch that I hate when he does it. You probably know what punch I'm talking about, but he got countered and dropped when he put his head down.
And go like that. Over. Yeah, he got countered. Yeah.
Like I was looking for that. I mean, I was scared that Bud might get caught with it just because it's awkward and he put his head down when he do it.
Right. Yeah.
But of course, since I know it's coming, Bud gonna know it's coming. He was prepared for it, and that's why he was doing the catch. He'd catch it and come back with a hook.
Right. He was coming back with it.
Yeah. And Errol, he couldn't do nothing because his feet went under him.
And much like Terrence, you've seen Kenny fight, but you've not seen him spar.
Right, I haven't seen him. I've seen a couple of your fights. Yeah,
Kenny has the ability to go from orthodox to southpaw, and fights equally well on both sides. Yeah. Kenny, do you find that is one of your biggest advantages when you get in the ring with somebody? Because it's because I fight the same way when I'm sparring. I can go from orthodox to southpaw. I find it throws people off a lot. You find the same thing?
It's crazy. I used to think that was one of my biggest advantages, but now I don't. I mean, it's an advantage, of course, but I don't think that's my biggest thing anymore. Since I started working with K.
Okay.
I've learned a lot, but I knew a lot already, and he just makes me actually use what I know.
Okay.
As far as just knowing what's going on in the ring. I'm more sure of myself, and I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes if I switch southpaw, it used to be just because I was tired or I didn't know what to do, and I was just trying something.
Oh, okay.
But now if I switch, it's just because I see something.
Oh. See, that's wisdom right there, right?
It is.
It's wisdom right there.
Sometimes when I spar, he'll make me not switch. I'll do 10 rounds, and he'd be like, stay right-handed the entire time, or stay southpaw the entire time.
Okay. Yeah,
my camp with Elvis, he didn't let me turn southpaw at all the whole camp until maybe the last 2 weeks.
Did you switch to southpaw in that fight?
Mm-hmm. I think the third round I switched.
Okay.
I would switch back and forth, but I think the third round was the first time I switched southpaw in that fight.
Okay. That's interesting.
No, and he's definitely. I mean, the skill set you can see it on fight night. Like you're the way you switch up.
Because
stances.
Kendall knows, but like in the gym, some of my earlier fights in the gym, it was like two different people.
Yeah.
Now I've got to the point where I don't know. I just feel like I know ever since that Rodriguez fight, I've learned how to, I guess, flip a switch when it's fight time. Like just get locked in and just be myself in there. Because I never was really feeling like myself, and even the fights I won, I never. Like, say if I get a knockout in the fight, I still was just like, man, this don't feel like the same person that be in the gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Because a lot of my fights, I feel like I should have, people think I'm not a puncher because I don't got a lot of knockouts. But I think I should have way more knockouts if I was able to, where I'm at now, was able to apply what I do in the gym to my real fights.
Right.
I think I had to stop majority of the people that I've been in there with.
Because you hurt people in the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
with
majority of the
your
people
fights.
I've been in there with in the fights, I think if I was at the mental space that I'm at now where I can just treat the fight the same as sparring and do the exact same things, then I have way more stoppages.
Yeah, I mean, I always wondered that because me watching him spar and seeing the power that you display in your sparring session, I'm like, why didn't it transfer over
Yeah.
to the fight? But now it's called maturity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's awesome to see your progression. Obviously, you're skyrocketing up. The future is bright for you, and it's awesome to have you here. Awesome that you rep Chicago.
Yeah.
We gonna rep you.
Appreciate it.
100%. Before we do let you go, we want to know what fights do you want to see, or what big fight do you want to see in 2024? And you can talk about one for you. And
Yeah, I was
one
going to
in
say
general.
me versus somebody. I don't
well, look, hey, we got a Teofimo Lopez, Josh
list.
Taylor, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah,
I like that Jose Ramirez fight.
me too. I fought him in amateurs. I
Yeah, that's
I
the
hold
one.
a grudge because I lost.
Right, that's the
But-
one. That's why I said that.
But any of those guys that you just named, T.O.,
Sabril
that-
Matias.
yeah, I don't. While he was fighting his last fight, Cake texted me like, "Yo, we could beat this dude."
Well, that's the
Yeah.
guy.
You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I'm
that's the
Puerto
guy.
Rican myself, and I'm telling you right now, he's trying to be Tito,
He is.
but he doesn't have. He's missing like two key elements that Tito had.
Yeah, I like him. He can fight. He relentless.
Yeah.
But I just
He can be exposed.
yeah, I think I think at this, I mean, I think I've been special, but I know how to just show it now.
Nah, you do, yeah.
To apply everything that I know how to do in
Right.
there, and I just think it'll be a good fight. But I think I could beat him.
Yeah. I believe you can too, because with his relentlessness, you with your counter shots, you're gonna catch him at some point.
Yeah. Like he got a good chin, but everybody could get hurt. Like my last fight, dude was coming, and the ninth round I caught him, and he wobbled back
felt
up,
it.
and then everybody, I was like, thank you. After the fight, I was like, people be saying I don't got no power. I'm showing y'all now.
Right, you're showing,
Because
yeah.
before that fight, I got 2 knockouts
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah.
What about a fight in general? What fight do you want to see in 2024 that would be interesting to you outside of your division, of course?
You see,
Still got the heavyweight division. You got
I ain't too much about that.
Nothing crazy?
Heavyweights no more. They've been fighting, so I ain't really.
Canelo Benavidez. Is that something that,
Nah,
that would
I
be
ain't
a
really.
good fight? No.
I mean, it'd be a good fight, but that's not one of the fights that I'm.
What about
I want to see Tank fight Shakur or Devin.
that'd be a good one. That'd be
More,
a good
more,
Either
Sha- more so,
combination
more
of it,
so Shakur.
More
I like
so
to
Shakur?
see Tank and Shakur.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Bevo and
Beaver on Better Be.
and
Better
Yeah.
Be and Better Be?
I would go with Better Be on that fight. I think you'll stop him.
You think he'll stop Bevo?
Benavidez, man, he was impressive his last fight. without a
Yeah,
doubt.
man, but Bevo, man, I mean, that guy can box.
He gets
He
throws
threw a
a
lot
lot
of
of
punches.
Throws
He
a lot of
can.
punches.
You know,
Better Be just, I don't know.
I saw Better Be get stopped at Winter. I'm not get stopped, but get dropped at Winter.
Oh yeah, we fought Callum Smith.
Yeah, when he fought him, I saw him get dropped.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
was hurt too.
Yeah, he was hurt. So it's not like he's not impenetrable. I mean, you can get to him.
Yeah, Bivol been hurt too. Joe Smith.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
yeah.
hurt. Yeah, that's right. So
What about your boy Terrence and Canelo? Would that super fight ever be able to be made in the future?
No, I think it happened though. Do I think Bud has a chance? Yes.
Yeah.
you think he got a chance?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Canelo, my favorite fighter too. So,
Is he?
Like my favorite current fighter? Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think Terrence has a chance against him?
He just like I've seen him spar heavyweights, like a good heavyweight. I ain't gonna tell you who, but I seen him spar like a top 10 heavyweight.
Okay.
He ain't top 10 no more, but at the time he was like top 10 heavyweight.
Right.
And I seen Bud spar with him, and it was
That's what doing it.
yeah.
Okay.
And I just know the dude is strong and he smart and fast, and Canelo's short.
Yeah. He is.
Like he big, of course he bigger than Bud,
Right. Yeah.
but as far as like physical advantages besides size, Bud probably got longer arms. He taller.
Yeah. Because Bud, I think Bud got a 73-inch.
Yeah, Bud got long arms.
Yeah, long arms.
Yeah.
That would be a super fight. I can see that happening on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
man.
it's gonna be
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I just don't think it. I don't think Canelo would fight him.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you one thing. I doubted Bud forever, especially his resume from 140 into 147. And as soon as he beat Sean Porter, I was like, all right. When he destroyed Arrow, I said, wow. Okay, I need to be quiet.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Yeah, when I sparred the first time I sparred with him, he whooped my ass.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was here in Chicago. He came up to cause his girl, she's from here.
Oh, okay.
She's from over east.
Okay.
So he come up here all the time, like with her, to see her family and stuff.
Terrence is from. He went to Zion.
Yeah, his dad. He told me this. Like his dad was in the military or something, and they used to move.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
He was here for a little bit. He stayed here for a little bit.
Oh,
I went
wow,
to Zion
no.
bet myself, and I had all my homies be telling me,
Yeah,
he said
Gennaro-
Terrence was a freshman with us. I'm like, Terrence Crawford?
Yeah, Gennaro and Miguel, they all went there, so they real close
Okay.
with Bud. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got some ties with Bud. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first time I sparred with him, he was here, and he texted me like he was here. Then I was a kid. I was just like, you got your stuff with you?
Uh-huh.
He was like, yeah, I got some stuff. I was like, come to the gym and spar.
How old were you then?
19.
Oh,
maybe
19?
20.
Okay, 20?
Maybe 20. Yeah, I think 20.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So you were a kid, but you wasn't a kid.
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that time. I was just trying to spar everybody. I was sparring Pacquiao, I was sparring him.
Yeah, I remember
Berto.
you went to Pacquiao's camp and sparred with him for a little
sparred Berto, Pacquiao, Jorge Linares. I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the difference between sparring those guys and sparring Terrence?
The first time we sparred, he hit me in the same thing Canelo does.
Uh-huh.
He hit me in my arm for like 3 rounds straight, and I didn't know at that time. I know now.
Uh-huh.
At that time, he hit me in my arm for like 3-4 rounds straight.
Uh-huh.
I think we did 8 rounds.
Okay.
By the 4th or 5th round, I couldn't lift my arm up.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Canelo does do that. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
because he did that to the guy that just fought Better View. When Canelo fought him, he did it to him.
Yeah, Caleb Smith. Yeah.
His arm was swole up.
Right. Yeah, I
after the
remember
fight.
that. Yeah, I remember that. That's something else, man.
Well, Kenny, we wish you the best, obviously.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you back again. And best of luck coming
Appreciate
up
it.
in 2024. Of course, this man right here, very skilled. If you haven't seen his fights, go on YouTube. Go watch him. He's awesome. He's still the WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion of the world. And we hope much success in 2024.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Kenny, thanks for coming by, man.
Thank you.
Parlay
Thank you.
sponsored by 6040 Club. Don't forget, check us out on our social media links, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We got it all. It's right there on the screen for you. Check us out. Edit this part. I just freaking choked. Here we go. Sorry. Don't forget to check us out on social media. Of course, all our links in the description box. And the biggest thing is you got to hit that bell when we are posting. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're all over there all the time, man. Can't call him Kenny. Kendall, you ready, man?
I'm ready. I'm ready for a big year, 2024. I'm ready for my man, Kenny Sims Jr. Edit that too, man. Talking about Kenny Smith. I'm talking about Kenny.
Yeah, everybody do that. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Don't forget to check us out on social media. And Kendall, obviously, it's going to be a big 2024 year for the parlay and boxing in general.
It is, and you know what a treat for us to have Kenny Sims Jr. for our first show. It's rare that any of these boxing shows or podcasts get a champion to come in and have a sit down with us for over an hour now. You know, this was a blessing for us, kicking the year off right, looking for a lot of big fights, and also looking for my man Kenny Sims to go out and clear out this division at 140.
Yeah.
It's the parlay.